Madam Dalila. My name is Nur Shazwani Izzati binti Adisri and my metric number is 284722. My friend Ngoy Wan Ting and I will present about historical place in Malaysia, and we choose Melaka and Pulau Pinang. Pulau Pinang has many historical places. Now, I would like to talk about Penang Free School and Kapitan Keling Mosque. On 6 February 1816, a proposal for the establishment of an English school was put forward by a committee headed by Reverend Robert Spahatri, who was the pastor of the settlement there. Penang Free School was officially opened in 21st October 1816 in a rental house, which was the school building in the Love Land. The school is a school that is open to the primary level only, and is open to all children regardless of race and religion. Penang Free School was the first English school in Malaya established in Penang in 1816, and its teacher was Christian missionaries. The main goal of the establishment of English school in Malaya was to maintain colonial power and to be able to educate students to read and write in English. The words free in Penang Free School refers to the freedom of all races to get an education in this school regardless of religious and racial background. Penang Free School used the concept of freedom to get education for all children by looking at the enrollment of students to Penang Free School, which showed the diversity of background, races, and religions. At the beginning of its establishment, the school had only 25 students and was taught using vernacular and English. In 1941, Penang Free School was used as a military training base by Indian soldiers during the Second World War. Now, Penang Free School has to comply with the Education Ordinance 1957 and the National Education Policy, where Malaya achieved independence on 31st August 1957. The school officially became a government school. Now, the Penang Free School building has become government property. However, Penang Free School had moved to a new building in 1821 on Greenland near Lebo Fakuha. Penang Free School was transformed into a secondary school after receiving a new headmaster, which is William Hargreaves. The Kapitan Keling Mosque is the oldest mosque in Penang, which was complete in 1801. As at that time, Penang was one of the famous trading centers in the Strait of Malacca. Many foreigners came to Penang to trade, and one of them was the Chulia community from southern India, who were also Tamil Muslim. The Chulia community is one of the growing population in Penang for the spice and clothes trade activities, because in the quarter of 18th century, the East India Company built the mosque to meet the worship needs of India Muslim. The location of this mosque, which is easily accessible and located with several other major tourist attractions in Penang, and make this mosque often visited by the tourists within, outside and inside the country. Just 5-minute drive from several other Penang attractions such as Padang Kota Lama and Fort Cornwallis. Walking here is also very easy as there are walking trails and sign as direction. Apart from that, tourists can also see the architecture of the building here, which is not less interesting before reaching the Kapitan Keling Mosque. The architecture of the Kapitan Keling Mosque in Penang is not like the original building structure in 1801. This mosque has undergone several phases of improvement in terms of structure and design, but they still maintain the characteristic of Islamic architecture with elements of Indian art. The new design of Kapitan Keling Mosque was built in 1906. The size of the mosque has become smaller due to rapid development around it, which was the part of the mosque land taken for the construction of houses and public roads.
Hi, my name is Ngoy Wan Ting. My metric number is 285802. Today I want to talk about historic places in Malacca. There was 2 places that I want to talk today. First is St. Paul Church, and second is Air Famosa. Firstly, the St. Paul Church is built by a Portuguese Fidalgo as a gesture of appreciation after his escape was thrown in the South China Sea in 1521. In 1548, St. Francis Xavier used this church as a base for his missionary journey to China and Japan. After that, he fell sick on one of these journeys and that ends at Sunshine Island, China in 1552. His body was disinterred from Sunshine Island and temporarily buried at the church before it was finally shipped to Goa. In 1641, the church was reconsecrated for Dutch dethroned use as St. Paul Church after the Dutch invasion of Malacca and be the main church until 1753. When the church was built, St. Paul Church was converted to secular use and became part of the fortification of Malacca, where a cemetery was made. When the British occupied Malacca in 1824, the church was used as a powder magazine and was allowed to deteriorate further. The old Portuguese cemetery was discovered in 1924. The head of the newly formed Malacca Historical Society conducted mock excavation in 1930. The tombstones placed around the church were fastened to the wall during this time. In 1952, to commemorate the 400th anniversary of St. Francis Xavier visit in Malacca, a monument of him was constructed in front of the remains of the church. A big casuarina tree crushed on the structure the day after it was consecrated, shattering its right arm. In centenary in 1614, his right arm was removed and kept as a memento. And this is the history of the church. Secondly, the historic places in Malacca that I want to talk today is Air Famosa. This fort was built by the Portuguese in the early 16th century and is Southeast Asia's oldest European building. In 1511, after the Portuguese occupied Malacca, in order to prevent the remnant from counter-attacking, the Portuguese colonial commander built this fort under St. Paul Hill to protect his subjects and the spice trade. It is said that all the stones at the time of construction were collected from meteorites on the bottom of the Java Sea, and the Famosa fort was named after Portuguese protector. The wall is 3 meters thick with tower and fort inside the wall. In 1641, the Dutch occupied Malacca and renovated the gate in 1670, and the abbreviation VOC of the name of the Dutch East India Company was inscribed on the city gate. The fort changed hands again in the late 18th century, when the Dutch handed it over to the British to prevent it from falling into French hands, but Britain ordered it to be destroyed. Although it was later persuaded to give up its demolition, the fort was destroyed with only the gate left. In 2003, the remaining foundation of the city wall was discovered and are also listed as monuments for protection. The above are the 4 historic places in Penang and Malacca that we talked in today. Thank you for your listening.